Have you ever wondered why the technology we see in Hollywood science fiction movies or in any movie feels so real? Because their imagination isn't just fantasy, it's inspired by science. So let's decode and find out the secret behind their technology. Hollywood writers and concept artists don't just sit in their offices writing stories. They actually study research papers, patents, and real inventions from NASA, MIT, DARPA, iLabs, and robotics. They set their imagination within those boundaries so that the movie's ideas feel close to reality and science. The best example of this is Iron Man's suit. This wasn't just some random imagination. Yes, the idea may have come randomly, but it was inspired by the real exoskeleton suits of DARPA and the US Army, through which experiments were being conducted to give soldiers super strength. The deadly robots in Terminator weren't just fantasy either. The idea for their movement and AI systems came from Boston Dynamics, real walking robots, and experiments in AI labs. And the gesture screens in Minority Report were also inspired by MIT's Real AR project. And when a movie is based on future technology or space science, filmmakers don't just make random guesses, they officially hire real scientists. Yes, they have real scientific advisors whose job is to ensure that the science in every scene of the movie feels authentic. For example, in the movie Interstellar, physicist Dr. Kip Thorne personally worked on the film to ensure that the scenes involving black holes and time dilation were as realistic as possible according to the laws of physics. He provided the real equations for the black hole. And for The Martian, NASA scientists confirmed how farming on Mars could theoretically be possible. NASA itself helped to ensure that Mars's environment, astronaut suits, and gadgets look just like they do in real life. In other words, these advisors are the bridge that brings imagination as close to reality as possible. Behind every major sci-fi film project in Hollywood, there is always a real scientist involved. They make sure that at least the visuals and theories match from a scientific point of view. Hollywood filmmakers look at real-world problems like pollution, war, and loneliness, issues people can relate to and understand, and then they imagine futuristic solutions for them. A great example of this is the Mission Impossible series, where for every mission, whenever they face a problem, they create some technology or gadgets to solve it, and those gadgets or technologies also feel connected to the story. Man, in spy movies, such gadgets are always made. They also have a special team, which consists of concept artists and futurists. Their job is to design the future based on science. These people work with scientists to imagine, if something is possible today, what its next version would look like. These people create visual imaginations of future gadgets, cities, suits, and other technologies and show them to us in an advanced way. For example, when Marvel Studios made Iron Man's head-up display, they didn't just create it out of imagination. They consulted real military HUD experts so that Tony Stark's suit would feel just like a real jet fighter. They just converted it into a more futuristic version. That's the reason why when we see Iron Man's helmet closing on screen or look at the HUD system inside, it feels like, wow, this is amazing. Concept artists and futurists bring imagination so close to reality that it feels like this isn't just a movie, but a preview of the future. Dan Locke's team often leaks or reveals the idea of the hidden or prototype pack in many batteries. Writers create their futuristic versions. For example, steel planes, AI drones, all of these are inspired by military research. Steel aircraft were first shown in Hollywood movies, and later the US government released them. Many movies directly partner with tech companies, but they just don't reveal the company's name. For example, in the Avengers movies, Tony Stark's AI system Jarvis, all these things were in testing, which later became a reality as assistants like Siri, Alexa, and ChatGPT. Hollywood filmmakers don't just showcase technology, they push the audience's imagination. They play mind games with the audience's imagination. Their golden rule is, what is impossible today could be possible tomorrow. So we create its blueprint. For them, imagination is a tool and science is its engine. That's why every gadget of theirs has scientific logic, emotional depth, and stylish design. Like Batman's Bat Gadgets. Each one of them has a practical reason. The grappling hook isn't just fantasy, it's a blend of compressed gas and magnetic cable. The Star Trek communicator, today's smartphone, back then when someone saw that movie, man, they must have become a fan, their mind must have been blown. The mix of logic, emotions, and imagination made Hollywood's tech unbelievable. But all these things are just technical things. But listen, all these technical things only work when the story is strong. Hollywood teaches a simple rule. Technology impresses, but story connects. For them, VFX, gadgets, and sci-fi are all just tools. The real magic lies in the foundation of the storyline at the level of the idea. If the idea is strong, then boom, like the emotion-driven science of Interstellar or Iron Man's redemption arc. So every visual, every gadget built on top of that automatically becomes meaningful. That's why in Hollywood, the soul of the story is written first. Only after that is the world of technology built around it. That's the reason their stories aren't just sci-fi, but also feel-fi. Now you might be thinking, not every idea comes after thorough research. Sometimes someone must have had a sudden idea too. Maybe someone even got a click while sitting on the toilet thinking, hey, this could work, we could do this too. What about that? So let's try to understand that process too. Let me explain this with a real example. James Cameron got the idea for Terminator from a nightmare. He had a dream where a metal skeleton was emerging from fire. The first spark of imagination came from the nightmare, then he made a rough draft and later included it in the script. He wrote down the basic information about what the Terminator would be like, what it would be, whether it would be a villain or a hero, etc. Then he connected it to reality. The production team looked at real robots and AI research. That's when they found Boston Dynamics' early walking robots. From there, they studied the papers and experiments on Boston Dynamics' early walking AI robots. From there, they got the idea to present it in a more realistic way. Then from there, they consulted more AI experts so that the technology shown would at least seem theoretically possible. The Terminator's AI intelligence and sensor-believing system should at least feel real. Then concept artists and futurists created a detailed design of the metal skeleton. So, hyper-realistic animations were prepared for this. The audience felt that the machines were built using real physics and engineering. Then inspiration was taken from real military robotics projects, and that's where the potential of the Terminator's weaponized tools was shown as strong. 10. Story justification. Why could a killer robot exist? Because in the future, AI might become that powerful. Justifying it created story logic for the audience, bringing together sci-fi and the audience's belief. And in the next part, how production, post-production, and pre-production are done in Hollywood. If you're interested in knowing this, then be sure to let us know in the comments. Definitely check out the next part.